Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. I hope you're all doing well. What a day. What a day. I don't even know where to start as a Manchester United fan, but we are going to be doing an Aston Villa versus Spurs watch-along. Arsenal have lost at home to Brighton. That's 2 losses in a row for them. Man United have taken 1 point from 6. Just absolutely stunning, really. And Spurs, I suppose the best manager, Conte, could guide them to Champions League football, which I think even a Spurs fan would have said was massively unlikely at one point. I can't believe Arsenal have done what they've done. I've been very complimentary of Arsenal and Arteta, and I'd like to say that I've jinxed them deliberately, but it wasn't reverse psychology, to be honest. I genuinely thought, I didn't think that they wouldn't take any points from Brighton and Crystal Palace, to be honest. So, it is. Does it almost bring West Ham back into the equation? I did say in January that it wouldn't surprise me if this top 4 race was won by the team that was the least shit. And I mean, look, I don't know whether you saw United today. I mean, I actually think I almost feel like apologising to Everton fans, and that will sound really weird, but I think that win will probably help you stay up, which will keep Lampard at your club next season. And I actually think you'd be better off sacking him and starting your rebuild as soon as possible, because I don't think Lampard's the right man for Everton. I thought you were dreadful today, just not as dreadful as we were. Your goal was a deflection. David De Gea had nothing to do. But you've just gone and got a massive win, and he's there going like this, fisting the Everton fans. Not like that. Not like that. He was going like that. And it was like, vindication. But they were really bad. And I don't think we did, apart from maybe, well, obviously we did Everton a favour and they did themselves a favour. They'll probably stay up now. But, I mean, I don't think it was a masterclass at all. I think if a decent team had played Everton today, they would have struggled. Unfortunately, they didn't. Thoughts on Chelsea, Ryan? That's just shows you the... I think what that shows you from Chelsea today is the difference between Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea is that they're capable of bad results. Man City have lost to Palace this year, haven't they? They're capable of bad results, but strong mentality and good quality will bounce back. And Chelsea have got a lot of problems off the pitch. I mean, a lot of disruption off the pitch. I'm sure it will get sorted out. They've lost a very, very big game on Wednesday night, and they then go and produce results like that. So I think that, I mean, fair play to Chelsea. It doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. But it's just that elite mentality coupled with quality, and you've always got the capability of doing that. Of course, with Chelsea winning that today, they basically, I mean, it was only a week ago, Arsenal fans were talking about going past Chelsea when they lost to Brentford. So they're now 62 points and they're 8 points clear of fourth place. So Chelsea absolutely fine. This is a massive game, Villa against Spurs. The reason I was doing this as a watch along in the first place was because I felt that I did think Arsenal would beat Brighton, but I thought that if Villa win this, if Spurs win this, Villa are a good side, and if they win this with their running, I'd quite fancy Spurs to be in a really strong position to get top 4. I think that's amplified now. I think that's gone up a level. I think if with Arsenal losing, if Spurs win this, they're 3 points ahead of Arsenal, and they've still got each other to play. So I think it's a huge, huge game, and I don't necessarily think Spurs will win, but they're level on points with 30 games played. Arsenal are not out of this, but they've given up their game in hand. So if Spurs win this, they go 3 points ahead of Arsenal with a game in hand, and they've got to play each other at Tottenham. So it becomes very, very interesting in that race for top 4. The ridiculous thing is, United, 1 point against Leicester at home, no points against Everton away. They're 3 points off 4th place. And Spurs and Arsenal have both got a game in hand on United. So they've blown it. And Man United have blown top 4 so many times. I mean, it really is, from United's point of view, how shit can we be and still be in a top 4 race? And look, I think Spurs were doing that. I felt like Spurs blew it a few weeks ago, and then they're back in it. And it, look, Spurs are going well at the moment, but could you bet against there being another twist? It just feels like there is this race for 4th place is really just about who's the least shittest out of everybody. I mean, even West Ham might fancy it. If West Ham go tomorrow and beat Brentford, Why are they out of it? I hope you're okay after today's results, says Tropic. I wouldn't say I'm all right. Are you going to watch the Grand National, Mark? No, I thought it already happened. I didn't even put a bet on this year. Marcel FC. So look, I think that in relation to Manchester United, just really fed up with them. I'm sure there's a lot of Arsenal fans who are disappointed. There might be some Spurs fans who are disappointed in a couple of hours, but it's a bigger problem for Manchester United. It's really the biggest thing from today that I think any United fan would be united on is that there was just a complete and utter lack of effort. Even David De Gea spoke about it. Ralph Rangnick spoke about it. It was very clear. I don't care whether you're Manchester United or Maidstone United. You can watch a team with your eyes and see if players are running around. United, there was no communication, there was no intensity, there was no effort. It was just appalling. Absolutely appalling. And you can have no complaints when you lose a game like that. They don't represent our club. They don't represent our fans. They are imposters. They need kicking out. I would rather have Championship players who put an effort in than them lot. We've got to get our identity back. They're not Man United players. It's as simple as that. They don't represent us. They don't represent that badge. They should be running around with naked chests. They shouldn't be allowed to wear that top. That's the disappointing thing. How have we put ourselves in a position where these frauds are wearing a Man United shirt? And some of them have been there a while now. They've bottled lots of games. This is not the first time. But they're getting worse. So look, fair play to Everton. They deserved to win it. But we were atrocious. And we were pathetic. Pathetic is the word I would use. And you can't even analyse the game of football because it was just a lack of effort. Simple as that. Let's have a look at the team news today. I do want to have a look at a little bit of look at the Premier League table as well. But let's have a look at this. Spurs are in fourth, and they can go 3 points clear in fourth if they win this game against Villa. Villa, I think, will be a good team next season. Been a bit up and down. Can't really get into the race at the moment. Martinez is in goal for them. I'm just going to get the timer ready because I'm aware that this match is about to start. So, why is that gone there? Get rid of that. That's not what we want. So we've got Martinez in goal. Cash, Konza, Mings, Digne. Douglas Luiz, McGinn, Coutinho, Jacob Ramsey, Ings and Watkins. So they've gone with 2 up front. Spurs, Lloris, Romero, Dyer, Davies, Emerson Royale, Bentancur, Højbjerg, Doherty, Kulusevski, Kane and Son. Very settled team for Spurs now. They're looking like a very good team now. And certainly the inspiration for Chelsea Spurs is to go and win. Go and win this game. Win this game and you will get top 4. Well, you won't definitely get top 4, but you'll be in a very strong position to get it. Let's start the timer. Just about to start here. I'm going to go with... I actually think it might be a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go with a draw on this. Right. We're up and running anyway. Mark, woke up early to watch our players down tools again. Absolutely crap. Ruining my weekend for the last year, says Vignesh. And random, but you planning on doing FM this year? Says Leyland. FM is Football Manager. I mean, I'd never rule it out, but I'm not planning on doing it at the moment, no. Good pressing from Spurs here early on, but Villa play through the press quite well. I don't rate Tyrone Mings. I don't know how he plays for England. Let's see how he does today. I think he's bang average. I don't know what anyone else thinks. I mean, Maguire gets a lot of stick, but I don't think Tyrone Mings is any better. I personally think the booing of Harry Maguire because Tomori didn't get picked, maybe. I think Mings was a terrible pick as well. Kulusevski there, good with a good cross, and be interesting to see how Villa play today because they have looked like they've been on the beach at times. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe. We will, of course, have the Liverpool versus Manchester City watch-along at the Etihad tomorrow afternoon. What a game that's going to be. And if you're an early riser, no pun intended, not talking about anything like that. If you're an early riser, I will be live at 6 a.m. tomorrow and enjoyably live at 6 a.m. tomorrow, I might add. It's not a chore. It's the 6 a.m. start for the Australian GP, which I'm really excited about. So if you want to get up or watch it in bed, then we are going to be live on this channel with That's Racing, the Formula 1 GP tomorrow at 6 a.m. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Mario G says, Mings is bang average, but to be fair, he does have a bit of pace, unlike the fridge. Yeah, I just think I think there's far better players than Mings who are centre-backs in this country. More polls today, Mark, says Tropic. If you want to give me a poll, I'll do it. Your thoughts on Chelsea versus Southampton game, says Isaac. I've already given it. I thought it was very impressive by Chelsea. And look, you can always lose a game. But I think that what they've shown there is that ability to bounce back from adversity, which you would expect from an elite mentality team managed by an elite manager who's got players that want to play for him. United's problem is they can't be arsed. Kane, good shot, good block. Son, 1-0. What a hit. It's an absolute banger by Son. Kane hits the shot, bounces back, deflection, edge of the box. Son, what a hit. They've started like they're on fire. They're not waiting around. And it's 1-0 to Spurs already. In off the post. Deadly finish. Horrible for not Man United. Not nice for Arsenal fans. They'll be hating this. But the race for top four, well, I tell you what, out of everybody I've seen this weekend in this race for top four, and I've only seen Man United and Arsenal, Spurs look like they want it. No complacency. Lovely finish by Son. Kane hits a shot. It's deflecting all over the place. Comes to Son on the edge of the box. First time hit. Left foot. In off the post. Unstoppable. Martinez ain't getting near it. And it's 1-0 to Spurs. And it's a magnificent hit by Son. Well, you've got something straight. That's a dream start when you're away from home and you need to win. An early goal forces the home team to attack. They can't sit back. And Spurs are perfectly set up to hit on the break. Villa could be in trouble here. They need to watch out. Prediction on the team to win in training on Monday, says Kian. Well, it's 1-0 here to Villa. Sorry, Spurs. 2 minutes. Delightful finish by Son. Conte's really got this team playing, hasn't he? Romero's getting better. Kulusevski, Bentancur have settled in. Højbjerg's probably one of Spurs' better players anyway. Kane and Son are firing. They're a good team. That's the thing. I mean, they're not a great team. They're not going to win the league. I don't think they're going to cause Liverpool, Man City or Chelsea any problems. But in the race for top four, you've just got to be better than Man United and Arsenal and West Ham. And at the moment, they look comfortably better. At the moment, I would agree with you, King Red Devil. I think I've always felt Arsenal deserved top four, but it's a 38-game season. I think up until last week, in the international break, I'd have said Arsenal deserved top four. 2 games later, it's looking like Spurs deserve it. Whoever's fourth after 38 games deserves it. The fact that British media aren't allowed at Ajax press conference confirms that it's a done deal. Expect United to announce Erik ten Hag soon, says Dan. Mark, Man United won just 40% of their games in the Premier League. 47% under Ralph. That is the lowest win rate under any manager in the competition. All you need to know. Well, it's not all I need to know, Ricky, because I don't know what you're talking about. The difference between United, Arsenal, Tottenham for the top 4 race is Conte, says Jazz. Going back to what you said there, Ricky, I don't know what clever thing you sort of might be trying to allude to. I'll tell you why Man United aren't getting top 4. It's the players. The players have down tools since Christmas. If you're not watching United, then that's your problem. Alpha Gaming, well, thanks for the super chat there. These players haven't been trying. Doesn't matter who's in charge. Put Nagelsmann in charge. Put Pep in charge. The players they're not trying. You can't coach players who aren't trying. Seen it today with my own eyes. Saw it last week against Leicester. They're not trying, mate. Don't matter what you tell them to do, they're not doing it. They're not running, they're not talking to each other, they're not trying. It doesn't matter. I can't believe people are going, oh, it's down to the coaching. They're not trying. It's the most obvious thing ever. I'll tell you what team is trying, Spurs. 1-0 up after 6 minutes. Well, 2 minutes they scored. We're in 6 minutes now. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I actually, just talking about Ajax, I think Ajax might be playing. The kick-off at 7 o'clock tonight against Sparta Rotterdam. Sparta Rotterdam. Rich T, thanks for becoming a member. Thank you, appreciate that. Mark, if you were to have one player who is not English to play for England, who would you want? Personally, I would want Van Dijk, says Hydra. What's England's big weakness? Yeah, I tell you what, I think you're probably right. I don't think we need wide players. I don't think we need midfielders. I don't think we need a centre forward. For me, it would be a goalkeeper or a centre back. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Just go for the best goalkeeper or centre back you can get. It's a great question, that. Good one. You've gone with Van Dijk. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Van Dijk's probably one of the good ones to get. I think you've probably nailed that. Mark, do you think Chelsea will get to the Champions League semis? Oh, well, I'm doing a watch along for that on Tuesday. I mean, very hard. I think it's going to be very hard for Chelsea to go to Bernabeu and beat Real Madrid 3-1. But having scored 6 goals today, it's the best preparation they could go for, Louis. Another example that good players can be good in any league. Like you said, our scouts need to renew their passports, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. Relegation battle. I mean, that win for Everton today, I almost feel like apologising to Burnley. I really do. I think that Leeds are looking very safe now. Brentford look very safe now. Burnley have got Norwich tomorrow. They've got to win. If Burnley win tomorrow, they put pressure on Everton. They're only a point behind them. But Burnley, I just don't know whether Burnley can win enough games. I've not looked at their finish. Really, it's Burnley or Everton who are going down. And Burnley have got Norwich away tomorrow. Then they've got West Ham away. Southampton at home. Wolves at home. Watford away. Villa at home. Spurs away. Villa away. And Newcastle at home. They could still do it, but I do have a bad feeling Burnley are going to go down. I think the Everton result might be quite good. CJ thinks Everton are going to be safe. Well, they're not safe yet. They've only got what they got. How many points have they got? You're not safe with 28 points. I mean, they used to say 40 points makes you safe. I don't know whether I think it'll be quite low this year. The points tally with the bottom 3 at Christmas was ridiculously low. Bro says he's depressed because of United. I mean, mate, the ridiculous thing about United is they are such a bunch of losers. They basically came from... I've watched United play against Leicester and Everton, and we've been bad this season. But against Leicester and Everton, they came back from a holiday and kept their Bermuda shorts on. Like, the Leicester game was absolutely atrocious. The lack of effort in that game, they were clearly down tools. They were worse today. And the ridiculous thing is they've taken 1 point from the last 6, but Arsenal have taken none. They only needed to win 1 game and they would have been right in the mix. Like, they've just given up for no reason other than their own selfish egos. Like, oh, I don't like Rangnick. It's just overinflated, egotistical prats, basically. And we should have walked top 4 this season. We really should have done. And we're just dreadful. We're dreadful. I am doing the City versus Liverpool match tomorrow, Chris, yes. I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but it's the biggest game of the season and I'm intrigued by it. I don't want any of them to win anything, really, but you can't not watch the spectacle. It's a massive, massive game. Doherty looks like he's in trouble here for Spurs. He was down a couple of minutes ago and he's down again. I don't know what he did. I think he took a bang on his right leg. I don't know whether he might have done his knee. Ince lost today, didn't he? They were 1-0 up against 1-0 up against Cardiff, Reading, and they lost 2-1. Well, this is not a bad thing for Spurs. Reguilon's coming on for Doherty. I actually think Reguilon's better. I don't know why. I don't know why Reguilon doesn't get picked. Mark, I'm a United fan and I think for change to happen, it's got to be from new owners. How do we even get them out, says Ricky. You need a viable alternative, Ricky. You need somebody who wants to buy the club. I don't think protests because you don't like the Glazers are going to work. They'll just do another Zoom call promising shares or something. So there needs to be work put into an alternative buyer for the club. I'm sure there are billionaires out there that would buy United. Basically, we need to find one as a fan base and then basically say we'll back you to the hilt to get the job and force the Glazers out. But there's no alternative at the moment. You need an alternative. Spurs were -2 goal difference 5 games ago. Now it's +16. Conte, says Aston. Well, look, Conte's a world-class manager. Whether Spurs had finished 7th or they finished 4th, he's still a world-class manager. Are you going to do an 8 o'clock show, says Ladlos, on United Stand? I don't know. I intend to do something, but I don't know whether I'll just finish this and then do a quick 20 minutes on United Stand. I do want to do something, but I don't know whether I can do a whole 8 o'clock for an hour. I might just have a sort of 20-minute rant or something. Reguilon's been injured, says 9G. Well, he might well be coming on here for Doherty. Spurs winning 1-0 after 12 minutes. Teams like Villa, Southampton, Brighton, this time of the season, you sort of want to be playing them because they haven't got a hell of a lot to play for psychologically. That sometimes means they're a difficult team to play because they might just completely relax. But I think top level sport is fine margins as it is, and if Spurs are up for it, then and Villa are just a little bit off it, makes it very difficult. Matty Cash with a shot, good shot. Lloris palms it away. Will you be doing an F1 watch along tomorrow? Yes, Stephen. I'll be live at 6 a.m. tomorrow on this channel. And not because it's, like I say, not because it's a chore. I want to watch the race, so I may as well get up and get downstairs and hit the live button because I'll be watching it anyway. Leclerc on pole. Quite happy with Norris and Hamilton and Russell in 4, 5 and 6 as well. Perez, I think, is down in like 9th, isn't he? Not Perez, Sainz. Here's Kane running at the back 4. Nice ball out wide. Doherty's still on at the moment. And Villa will bring it away. No, they won't. Spurs have won it back again. He's looking like a very good signing, isn't he? I remember when I said, when Spurs got hold of Kulusevski and Bentancur, I heard people were going, they've both been shit for Juventus. And I was like, I really like... Well, I like Kulusevski, but I really like Bentancur as well. And Conte's obviously done his work there because they've both been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely incredible. I keep getting asked for reactions on Chelsea. I'm not surprised. They've got a very good manager. They've got a very good team. And they've got a very good attitude. And that was evidenced last year when basically Tuchel came in a very short time, got these players winning a Champions League and competing. And look, anybody's capable of losing a game. I don't think Chelsea are a bad side. I certainly don't think they've got a problem with weak mentality. I think you're going to have a few blips, but they're a very good team. It's not just about the manager. They've got a team that wants to play for the manager. They want to play for the badge. They want to play for the club and the fans. And Chelsea have got that. Massive game tomorrow. I can't call who's going to win tomorrow between Liverpool and City. I think Liverpool come into it with better form, maybe. But Man City at home, I think it's going to be a very interesting game. I've got a bad feeling it might come down to a refereeing decision. What a lovely run. Great save by Lloris. Was that Ramsey again? Oh, what a player he is. Driving run. Took 2 players on. It was like watching Ryan Giggs at Villa Park. It was very Giggs-esque. And he went for the same sort of finish. It was like going back through the years. Great save by Lloris. Ramsey's very good piece, Midi. He is. A draw tomorrow, Barath, really probably favours Man City. Are Tottenham top 4 favourites as studios? I think if they win this game, they are. Oh no, he's done well. I mean, remember, Arsenal and Spurs have got the same points. And I know Arsenal fans are losing their head a bit, and momentum's obviously important, and they've lost their last 2 games. But this game for Spurs gives Arsenal another game in hand anyway. So even if Spurs win and go 3 points clear, Arsenal have got a game in hand. So, but look, there's no doubt Arsenal were the favourites, and by taking no points from your last 2, especially that game today at home against the Brighton side that's been really bad, they have handed the initiative over. And you just wonder how much it's going to affect Arsenal now. But look, what if Spurs lose this game? West Ham could be back in it. Deitch won't be happy with United after that result. No, he won't. My throat's sore trying to talk about it. I'm not happy. I tell you what, I wouldn't even take Wan-Bissaka at Burnley. Or Maguire. They could all jog on. I wouldn't take Rashford either. I'll give him something to write about in his next book. Good shots, good save. I tell you what, McGinn's hit a shot there. It's moving all over the place. Lloris with another save, probably for the cameras a little bit, but it was a good hit. Are you going to do a Fury versus White watch-along, says Alpha Gaming? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Is that the 23rd? I think it's at a reasonable time as well, so I'll definitely do that. I'm looking for... I'm going to watch it, so I'll do a watch-along. Ramsey, good play. Villa have had a good few minutes here. Mings. I thought that was a bit wild. I think it was a bit wild. I think he might be in trouble here. This could be a red. I'd need to see it again. It's not a red. He gets the ball first. Yellow. Oh, maybe it is a red. It's a nasty tackle, that, by Mings. He knows what I think he's doing. I think that's a nasty tackle. I'd send him off for that. He's gone through him. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not even going to book him. I think that's just the lack of knowledge of a referee of actually how to play football. He knows what he's doing there. Anyone who's played the game, you know what he's doing. That's a 20 years ago tackle. It's get the ball and make sure you take the player after. Reguilon comes on for Doherty. He should have got a yellow card. I don't like Mings as a player. I think he's bang average, yeah. I'm Team Tamori though, everyone knows that. There's another late tackle here. Villa are being quite dirty here. Your thoughts on Maguire singling handball to the referee for his own teammate? Aditya, I've seen that. Let's just see what happens here. Reguilon's really hurt. There's some nasty tackles going in from Villa. I mean, I like a good tackle. And you'd imagine this is coming from the manager because he always liked a good tackle. But it's going to be a yellow. Danny Ings. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's not a red. That's just a little bit late. He's not gone through him. He's just tried to block the cross, block the ball. It's a painful one, but it's a yellow. Fine by that. Yeah, I saw this. I don't know whether anyone else has seen this. So, there's an incident in the first half. Man United Everton. Matic clearly handballs it outside the box. It bounces up onto his hand. And Maguire's right near him and goes, handball! It's just weird. I suppose it just shows you the mentality of some of these players. They're very confused. They find it very confusing. If you're shouting for a handball from your own player, I mean, what chance have we got? To be fair to Villa, though, they're being a bit tasty here. Another one! Bloody hell, they're flying in. I tell you what, it's making it an interesting game. Villa are flying into some tackles. Mark, keep up the good work. Love the content and glued to your videos. Congratulations on your successes, Chris. Thank you very much for the nice message, Chris. Some cracking tackles flying in. On the edge, I would say. But Villa clearly not on the beach here. They're having a go. I haven't seen De Gea's interview, John STR, but I have seen some of the quotes. I'll probably talk about it on United Stand tonight, actually. Jacob Ramsey actually put the tackle in. I think he's hurt himself a bit. Boycott United games. The players not worth support, says Karim. Well, United's next game's Norwich. I mean, we'll win that. We'll probably win that 1-0 with a lucky deflection goal. And they'll be all on Instagram and Twitter. We're back. We go again. Thanks for sticking with us. This is what hard work's all about. No, you've just beat the worst team in the league at home. And I'm not even going to predict we're going to do that. I'd be stunned. I was looking earlier. I think the only United player that could get away with an Instagram post tonight is David De Gea. I think if anyone else does it, they're absolutely... They're not brave, they're stupid. Like, they just can't do it. Should Ramsey be going to the Qatar World Cup? Well, he won't go, Thomas. He won't go, but he should do. I've been impressed with him every time I've bloody watched him this season. Yeah, but going back to Tyrone Mings, I mean, nothing against him as a footballer, but I'm very much in the camp of why is Tyrone Mings and Harry Maguire being picked for England when you've got a player like Tamori doing a fantastic job in his first season in a foreign country, first full season in a foreign country. They absolutely love him over there, and he should be getting an opportunity. But Southgate contradicts himself, doesn't he, all the time with, oh, I pick people on form. No, you don't. Villa have been the better team here so far. It was a great start by Spurs, and I thought it looked like they were going to move away with it a little bit. But Villa have been very good the last 10 minutes. I think Gerrard would be very happy with them, apart from the fact that it's still 1-0. They're making a game of it here. Emerson Royale is very poor, in my opinion. Stephen O'Connor, I agree with you. I don't watch Spurs every week, but I'm very surprised when they pick him. What was the game where he cost you 3 goals? Was it Southampton at home or was it Wolves at home? Well, it wouldn't have been Wolves. They wouldn't score 3. Surely not. It must have been Southampton. Yeah, Villa definitely been the best team in the last 10 minutes. You feel that there's a Villa goal coming here. Spurs maybe settling in a little bit. You know, they've got the goal. They sit back a little bit. Made a meal and threw it up on Sunday. I've just been talking about Jacob Ramsey. I think he looks fantastic. I was just going to say, I don't know how old he is. But if he's under 21, I think he's going to have a great future because he's 20. Yeah, 21 next month. So, yeah, I think he's going to have a great future. I mean, not that if he was 22 or 23 he wouldn't, but I just think he's got so much at such a young age. And he's doing it in the midfield. I think it doesn't remind me of Bellingham, but I always said this was one of the key factors for me with Bellingham. Free kick on the edge of the box here. Well, not quite on the edge of the box, but free kick to Villa. Jude Bellingham was playing in the centre midfield in the Championship for Birmingham at 16. Like, nobody does that. You don't... midfield, if you've ever played there, is such a physical role because there's a lot of tackles. You're back and forth. You got to be able to hold your own against midfielders, defenders. You know, you're involved in lots and lots of things. So to do that at 16, it's unbelievable. Well, Jacob Ramsey's doing it as well at 20, and he's impressing as well. So I think he's another cracking player, really. This could be a goal. Oh, Ings, quick free kick. He got in behind. He didn't connect. United PR started circulating pictures of Ronaldo's hurt legs to generate sympathy and injury updates for Fred. That's the spin till Norwich, says Priyansh. Just fucking idiots. Idiots. Why can I hear in the next room? I need to go and turn that off. Please subscribe, by the way. We're only 100 subscribers away from 643,000. I'll keep talking to you while I just go and sort whatever this background noise is, because it's getting on my nerves. Sounds to me like it could be Peppa Pig, but I don't think it is. Let me see what I can do. No, it's some twat on YouTube. Not me. It's not me for once. Seb seems to like watching these prats on YouTube who are like kids on YouTube with their families. I just don't agree with it. I think it's like exploiting kids, really. But there's loads of them, isn't there? Like, they make a living out of just filming their kids at home, opening presents and camping in the bloody living room. And I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why don't United care anymore? Look, I'm on YouTube. I haven't got a problem with being on YouTube, but I also have got kids, and I think me filming them every day, eating their breakfast or doing wacky things, you're doing it to exploit and make money out of them, aren't you? Let's be honest. If it's when they say that they're not. Well, you are. If you're comfortable with that, that's your choice. You're doing it to your kid. That's up to you. But you are doing that. You are doing that. Let's not pretend it's their conscious decision. They're not adults. Anyway, back to the match. Watkins down the right-hand side, cuts it back. Spurs are defending quite well. There's another injury here. He's hurt his knee. I'll be a little bit worried about him here. Who is it? It's Højbjerg. You don't want to lose him. I think he might be all right. I think they're both holding the knee, so it might be a bang of the knees. Let's have a look. Cross comes in. Watkins. Yeah, he's not twisted it. He's banged it. He's banged his knee. He'll be all right. He'll be up. He'll be up. Mark, Ronaldo through an Everton's fan's phone. I really, if I say anything, I'll be in trouble. So I'm not going to say anything about it. Do I think United have still got a chance at top four? I didn't think they had a chance at top four when we were in top four in January. I've never felt that we deserved it. I've never thought we've been very good. So, no, we're shite. We don't deserve it. Norwich Burnley tomorrow at 1 o'clock. No, I'm not doing a watch along, but it's a big game. Spoke the players, Man City, Liverpool, I am doing that. And of course, if you're into your Formula 1, you want to watch me in bed if you don't want to get up, I won't be in bed, don't get excited. 6 a.m. tomorrow, I will be live, well, I'll be live before, about 5:45, Formula 1, Australian GP. Looking forward to that. Do you think we should see an upturn in performances when we get a good permanent coach, says Joshua Bellwater? Yes, 100%. But you've got to get rid of some of the shit players. Ever considered some Maguire merchandise, says Jagan. No. All I can think of is a fridge. I don't know why. This fridge with a big Maguire face on it. But no, I haven't. Path, welcome to the... And that says everything, doesn't it, really? Who would buy a T-shirt of Maguire on it? Mark, what if your kids become Liverpool supporters, says Ricky. Very unlikely to happen. I'd never order my kids to do anything. Like, I hate these people who like, there's no way my kid's watching that or listening to that. I'd never allow that. Well, you're dictating to them what their creative mind is going to create them into as a person. But, oh, good cross. Watkins heads it over. So I'd never say they can't support Liverpool, but you can do subtle things like, pack all their clothes and leave them in a suitcase out the door when they get home from school. Things like that will make them have a second thought. But no, on a serious note, I don't like Liverpool 3 or 4 times a day in their earshot. Will subconsciously make them think that. I also think your kids end up supporting the team that you want to support because of your passion. I support Manchester United because of my granddad's passion for Manchester United. Like, he loved Duncan Edwards and the Busby Babes. And look, growing up in the early 90s, there's no reason to know who Duncan Edwards is living in Nottingham, and there's no reason to really know much about the Busby Babes, but I knew all about it because my granddad was so passionate about it, and you could see how passionate he was. And I think the things that we end up being passionate about are the things that we're passionate about, isn't it? And how do you learn to be passionate about something? Well, you're educated, or you find it and you're like, I love film, or I love football, or that's how it happens. So I need to improve in I must admit, I'm not going around saying I love Man United a lot at the moment. Maybe I need to fake it, because they may not end up supporting Man United the way United are at the moment. Forest the third, favourites for the playoffs, is life at the Goat Post. It's funny because I have a couple of friends I went to school with who are Forest fans, and they've been messaging me a bit saying, "Oh, see you in the Premier League next year." And I'm like, "How far are you off automatic?" And they're like, "Well, we can't really do it. I think they're 6 points off Bournemouth." And I'm like, playoffs is dodgy. Playoffs are dodgy. You could be the third best team, and then the 6th best team just finds a bit of form or gets a bit of luck in the playoffs. It's very difficult to guarantee you're going to get promoted through the playoffs. I tell you what, Spurs have done nothing in this game since the goal. Villa have been easily the best team. Who would you say is your celebrity lookalike? I see a young Michael Gove. Oh my God, bowstring. DiCaprio. Brad Pitt. Wouldn't making your kids support United be considered cruel? Says Nick. I ain't going to make him support anyone, but I do suspect... Well, Seb runs around in a Ronaldo kit. I force my brother's kids to support United. It's an important life lesson for them. Learn disappointment early. They get enough mollycoddling anyway, says Nick P. Yeah, I agree with that, Nick. I think actually making your kids support Manchester United is character building, and it's an early lesson in how life can be unfair and demoralising. Spurs are on the attack. He might hit that. No, he goes wide. Wide to Kulusevski. Son. Emerson, oh, good interception there. Emerson Royale was nearly in, and then he gives up a foul. I am doing an F1 watch along, yes. I always forget that people are probably tuning in and then asking, and I've obviously haven't been here for the last 20 minutes when I've said it twice already. The difference in intensity of this game versus Man United and any game in the last season. Oh, Gary, you've hit the nail on the head. It's, one of the sad things about watching United at lunchtime and then watching this game, even both teams, Spurs and Villa, there's just different I don't like to think about it, but I think about Man United today and I look at the speed and intensity of Villa and Spurs, and it's just completely different. And that'll be the same tomorrow if you watch Burnley Norwich. The intensity is different. And to be fair, the word intensity, we're being actually quite kind on United. Effort is the word. The effort of these Spurs and Villa players, and when you watch Norwich and Burnley tomorrow, the effort will be 10 times that of United players over the last couple of games. They've been appalling. Good shot there again. Lloris has made some good saves. It's another corner for Villa here. Now they do have threats from corners. Obviously Tyrone Mings is a big lad. Cross comes in. It's not a very good one. I can see the young Michael Gove thing. Mark Goldbridge, says Luke Jones. I think you're absolutely being ridiculous. I cannot see it at all. And Villa on the back post. Another chance. And it's Danny Ings on the back post. He was stretching and he puts it wide. I don't think it was a clear-cut chance. Thoughts on Dwayne Haskins passing away? Steelers quarterback, says Andrew Kirk. I look, in all due respect, I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about that situation. Apparently he got hit by a car, didn't he, in the early hours in Florida. I do like my NFL, but I'm not a massively in-depth fan, so I don't know how good he was or anything like that, but it's very sad. I tell you what I have been enjoying at the moment, though, on Disney, and I'd recommend it. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know even know if it's new. It just got recommended to me. It's a 10-part season about Tom Brady, and it starts right at the start of his career, how he basically got quite lucky to get the quarterback spot at the Patriots. I'm only on episode 3, but it's really good. I forget what it's called. Michael Cambridge, says Jack. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Please do subscribe. We're very close to 643,000. I think we're only about 50 away now, so thank you. Thanks for please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Villa do deserve an equaliser. They've been very good the last sort of half an hour. Obviously Spurs with the early goal, but Villa have been very good since then. How do you get Man United players playing for the shirts? Well, you've answered your own question there, Sammy. If they're not playing for the shirt, fuck them off. I mean, that's the problem. You shouldn't have to get players to want to play for in a Manchester United shirt. If you're not playing in the shirt, there's a very big problem there. Where this Villa equaliser is surely going to come. It's wave after wave at the moment. Hi Mark, what are your thoughts on Jesse March? I was thinking about it a little bit today, DC. I know Leeds beat Watford 3-0. I've got to be honest, I know Leeds fans are starting to like him and everything like that, but I do think a lot of it's to do with having certain players back from injury. I think Bielsa would have kept you up. We'll never know, but I think Bielsa would have kept you up. I think Bielsa would have beat Watford 3-0 today as well. He's done a good job and give him some credit, but in fact, I am going to give him credit. I'm not saying he's not done a bad job. He is doing a good job. But it does make me think, did they pull the trigger on Bielsa a little bit quick? Are you going to visit Qatar for the World Cup, says Khalid? I'm not planning to. You never say never. You never know what your yearly plans are going to be. Out of interest, how long have you been doing solely YouTube now? But it was hard to balance it while you were out working too, says Joshua. I don't know, Joshua. I think it must be for about 4 years now. You lose track of time with COVID. Villa coming forward again. They've been very impressive, but they are losing 1-0. Spurs here, probably the typical sort of away route, really. You get that early goal and it just makes you sit back and try and hit them on the break. And I think Spurs are quite happy to do that at the moment. Sorry, AF. Sorry. And they break again here. Son is a pass, but now it's a terrible pass into Harry Kane. Man United need a CDM most, Jamie. I think we saw for an hour today what a difference Matic made, but I don't know why he was taken off. I presume it's just because he's tired. Faisal says, if I'm a Liverpool fan, can I make an Everton career mode? Response is needed. I'd say no. Why would you want to? I'd never want to do a Liverpool career mode on FIFA. I'd get no enjoyment out of it at all. I find it hard enough doing career modes of other clubs anyway, but at least if you do like a Newcastle or a Villa, they're not really offensive to you as a United fan. I could never do a Liverpool one or a City one. No, I'd hate it. Luke says you can do it. It's a game, not real life. But surely the whole point of a game is that you enjoy it. What would you enjoy about running around with Salah and Mane? I mean, they're good players, but I just wouldn't like it. Obviously, some people would. Good takedown here. Lovely ball by Kane into Reguilon. Waits. He might shoot. Reguilon. Deflection. Oh! Mings nearly scored an OG. Martin, I tell you what, Mings, he's a proper bloody gobby one, isn't he? He's like a wrestler. He's like The Rock. Two deflections on that. I tell you what, that was going to be an OG on Mings. It hits Martinez in the face. He's very lucky there. I was asking if you do a vid with... No, AF. No, I wouldn't. AF. If I am Ten Hag, I will think twice, says Sapatashi. Corner for Spurs. Not really done much since the goal. Bit of a smash and grab at the moment. Cross comes in, headed away, edge of the box. Højbjerg hit it quite well. Wants a handball, not going to get it. Harry Kane will keep that in. Puts a cross shot in, and he'll get it back again. Comes to Reguilon. Harry Kane's in the box. And Villa will clear it away now. And that'll be a free kick. Very surprised with Arsenal today. Saw little bits of it, Johannes. I don't know whether we've got any Arsenal fans or anybody who watched the game. I don't know whether Brighton were good or Arsenal were just terrible. But I am very surprised about that. When you think about Arsenal before the Palace game, I said this on Monday night. Palace played very well. That can happen. You can lose a game. Look at Brentford at Chelsea last week. You can. In this league, it can happen. Look at Palace against Man City. They beat them this season. It can happen. Arsenal going into that Palace game had won 7 of their last 8 Premier League games. That's an amazing run. But I don't understand how they've lost to Brighton. Brighton played well, says Elliot. Well, there's some mitigating circumstances there, but from Arsenal's point of view, you can't really be losing those sort of games if you want top 4. Could you do a sell or keep on the United stand, says Gav? I could. Probably best not that I don't do it tonight. I'd sell the lot. Probably bought from De Gea. I don't know how people play football and chew gum, says Sean Atwood. Yeah, I'd be too scared of choking. Arsenal's next game. Actually, best thing to do is not even to look for that. Best thing to do is just type in fixtures and I'll tell you. Big games coming up next. I mean, this is a big game in itself, but let's have a look. So next Saturday, Arsenal have got Southampton. Probably not the perfect game for Arsenal, actually. Southampton away when they've just lost 6-0 to Chelsea. They'll be wanting to bounce back, so that's not a good game for Arsenal. Some people will go, "Oh, that's a good game because Southampton are shit," but I would imagine Southampton will want to bounce back. So Arsenal go to Southampton next week on 3 o'clock on Saturday, and then you've got Spurs are playing on next Saturday lunchtime at home to Brighton. So, yeah. United at home to Norwich. So, West Ham play on the Sunday against Burnley. West Ham could start churning out some points. I know they've got Europa League matches that might make them feel a bit tired, but... interesting. Please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in. As a kid supporting United, I was labelled a glory hunter pretty much from 88 to 2000. Imagine going to school now, still hated, but without the glory, says Nick P. Would I take Højbjerg at Man United, Teddy? Yes, I would. I think he's a very, very good player. I always thought, even when Spurs were shit this season, I still thought he was a good player. Oh, tired. Tired of United. I am definitely. They're draining. Do I think United will beat Norwich? I mean, you've got to think they will, Tarms, but I just don't know at the moment. I couldn't see how we wouldn't beat Everton. They're crap, but they did. They didn't. Good cross, back post, Matty Cash. Oh, Lloris. He's not. I tell you what, Lloris is not very good at clinging on to the ball, is he? It always seems to bounce off him. It was a good attempt by Matty Cash, but it's not quite right. Was Centre Parks any good? Thinking of going. It's expensive, but I quite liked it. I've been a few times. I quite like it. It's got its own unique feel going on. Yo. Partey and Tomiyasu and Tierney out for the season has screwed Arsenal, Mark. Is Partey out for the season as well? Yeah, I think that might be a big problem for Arsenal. Injury problems are going to cause you a problem. The reason I go to centre parts is because it's reasonable. It's convenient. Shot over the bar there. Got a good. We'll do some either ors in the chat. A lot of them will come up from the debate we're going to have. We're going to do a London combined 11. London combined 11. So not like Arsenal and Spurs. Any team in London. So that includes. Well, it can include Leyton Orient. They won't get anybody, but that includes West Ham, Brentford, Chelsea, obviously, Villa. Not Villa, Arsenal and Spurs. Hi Mark, I'm a Chelsea fan. Just wondered how you rate our chances in Madrid, says Ben. You know how I rate your chances in Madrid? I don't know whether anybody watched my TUSFC career mode, but we lost the first leg to Barcelona in the Champions League, and I think we lost 3-1 actually. And we had to go to the new camp, and no one gave us a chance. And it's a computer game, but we did end up winning. I think we won 3-0. So, but it, you know, Coutinho's just hit a free kick that Lloris has hit onto the bar. I'm surprised there's no GDS here. I don't know how he's kept it in. Lloris is probably Spurs man of the match here. He's kept it out, hasn't he? Go on, go to the GDS camera. Let's have a look. Yeah, he has just about kept it out. I bet a bit of it was over the line. Let's have a look. Ooh, I can't. Yeah, it's not over the line. It's not over the line. It was close. I tell you what, I think Villa have been unlucky. I think Villa have been unlucky not to be level in this game. But they're not. Mark, I'm no longer sad or angry with this United team. I just find myself not caring, says Oz. I'm doing the F1 watch along tomorrow, Adrian, at 6 a.m. Yes, I am. Going back to the Chelsea thing from the Gregster. Not the Gregster. It was from Ben. You're going to... Chelsea, for me, won't knock Real Madrid out. But it's not impossible. You're going to have to do a night which will be remembered for years. That's what you're going to have to do on Tuesday. It's not impossible. It can be done. But it's not straightforward. To win on Tuesday night, you're going to have to produce a night that you're going to remember for years. It can happen, but it's probably not going to happen, I don't think. Man United versus Norwich, watch along, or Man City versus Liverpool in the FA Cup next week, says the Gregster. I know. I will have both on, but I will have to do Man United versus Norwich. Yeah. If Gallagher don't get into London's 11, it's fake, says Vicious. Yes, don't forget Crystal Palace as well. So we'll tweet that out and we'll do that in a minute. But story of the game so far, 1-0 to Spurs. Fantastic start by Spurs. Opportunist finish by Son, but it was a delightful finish by Son. And then pretty much Villa. Intensity, desire, ferociousness in the tackle. Got control of the game. Chance after chance after chance. Not really a clear-cut chance, but numerous shots which Lloris had to save. And you'd have to say, I think Villa are unlucky to be going in 1-0 down. They have been the better team. But having said that, are Spurs doing it on purpose? Are Spurs defending deep, looking to hit on the break and allowing Villa to shoot from distance? We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, they're 1-0. And maybe Spurs are just waiting for that opportunity to get the killer goal. We'll see in the second half. But Villa always play dirty, says Harrison. Well, it's probably the Gerrard effect, isn't it? He was always a bit of... Gerrard used to get away with a lot of tasty tackles. I mean, I know everyone thinks about him being sent off at Anfield for that foul on Herrera, but fantastic player. But he did play on the edge a lot, and he got away with it because he was a good player. But yeah, I think Gerrard was a dirty player, and a bit like Scholes. You know, Scholes always had this excuse of not knowing how to tackle. I think he was. I think a lot of it was done on purpose. Rice, Soucek and Ogbonna deserve to be in the team, says H. Ellis. So we're going to do a London 11. Sometimes we do a North London 11. Sometimes we do a Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs. We're doing them all. Brentford can be in it, Palace can be in it, and West Ham can be in it. You're invited. So we're going to do a London 11. And we might need to use the poll for some of the divisive players, but... Who would you go as your goalkeeper in a London 11? I suppose the obvious one is Mendy, although he had a bit of a bad week this week. Look, Lloris is having a good game at the moment, but I think I've never been that impressed with Lloris. I think Lloris has always got a mistake in him. So yeah, I would go with Mendy. Despite his mistake in midweek, I'd go Mendy there. Mendy easy next. Yeah, Mendy's name's coming out a lot there. So who would you go as your right back? You've got... I mean, can you go with Tomiyasu? Has he played enough football? Reece James? Would you go with... you're not going to go West Ham. You're not going to go Palace. You're not going to go Brentford. You're going to go Spurs. You're going to go Reece James again, aren't you? It's going to be a Chelsea player quite comfortably. And I would agree with that. So Reece James and Mendy. Good start for Chelsea here. Let's go left back. So left backs, who have we got as a shout? London 11 we're doing here at the moment. No divisive ones yet. Left back, you've got Kieran Tierney at the Arsenal. I'll give you him even though he's out for the season. Chilwell, if he's fit. Alonso maybe. Reguilon. I don't think Palace have really got anybody. Cresswell at West Ham. Brentford haven't really got anybody. I think you'd have to go with Kieran Tierney or Chilwell, wouldn't you? Who would you go with? It might be our first. In fact, it's going to be our first poll. There's a few of both in there, so we'll chuck the poll in. It is your London 11. Remember, I don't even really go for the deciding vote now. I'll just go to a poll. Tierney or Chilwell. Get voting in the chat. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. You're very welcome. Big weekend on That's Football. Big week, actually, because we've got the Champions League. Obviously, Real Madrid-Chelsea on Tuesday. Tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, it's the Liverpool against Man City game. You can join us live for that on this channel as a watch-along. And tomorrow morning, if you're into your Formula 1, I will be rising nice and early for a 6 a.m. race start in Australia of the Formula 1. Leclerc is on pole. Russell, Hamilton and Norris all 4, 5 and 6. Some people are saying Mitchell. I wouldn't put him ahead of Chilwell and Tierney, to be honest with you. I think Chilwell's going to win it, you know. I think Chilwell's going to win it. Anyway, what about your centre-back pairings while that's being voted for? Who would be your London centre-back pairing? I think Rudiger's got to be considered. Some people would say it should be Rudiger and Thiago Silva. Could you make a case for Gabriel or Ben White? Could you make a case for Ogbonna? Could you make a case for Romero at Spurs? Could you make a case for any Crystal Palace centre-backs or Brentford centre-backs? Or where, who would you go with? Yeah, Chilwell's winning the left-back one, I'm afraid. I probably would have gone Kieran Tierney, but Chilwell's won it. So at the moment, a London 11 consists of Mendy, Reece James and Chilwell. Chelsea are dominating it here. Your centre-back pairings, I think... I'm just having a look at what we've got here. Gabriel and Rudiger's getting a few. Romero and Rudiger's getting a few. Zuma is getting mentioned. Zuma and... let's have a look. Mark, how about UFC 273 Watchalong? Would love to watch you react to knockouts, says Jazz. Yeah, but they're always on at stupid times, aren't they? Zuma and Catwoman. Rudiger and Romero is coming out a lot. So we'll go Rudiger and Romero. Mark, it pains me to say it, but United have finished, says Alex G. We're at a low point. We are at a low point. I said this in January. I thought we wouldn't get top 4, and a lot of people said you're wrong. I said we won't get top 4, and I think we're going to get worse from this point. And we are. We're not getting top 4, and we're getting worse. Whether that can change any time in the next 12 months, I don't know. We could get worse next year, no matter what. Is there an 8 p.m. show today on the United Stand, says Romeo? I'm going to do a show, but it's probably going to be about 15, 20 minutes, and I'll probably do it sort of like 7:45 or something like that. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. I'm just trying to get through this next bit. Hi, Mark. Just joined. How's the game been? Domination from Villa after Spurs' early goal is the best thing to say, MR. So, we're doing a London combined 11 at the moment. Mark, Watford are also in London, mate. Yeah, I've not forgotten J4C, but you're seriously trying to get a Watford player into this? I was trying to be respectful by ignoring you. If you want me to expose the fact that you're not getting anyone, that's fine. So, we've got Mendy in goal, Reece James, Rudiger and Romero and Chilwell as your London 11 back 5. Who's your holding midfielder? We're going to go holding midfielder, number 8 box to box, and an attacking midfielder, 2 wide players and a centre forward. Holding midfielders. I suppose you've got Declan Rice, Højbjerg, Jorginho. I don't really feel Kante's a holding midfielder, so I never say that. Who else? Arsenal's. You've got Partey or Xhaka. Kante is not a CDM. I really find it quite frustrating when people put Kante as a CDM because he's not. He's not. I would say Kante is more number 8 than number 6 these days. I don't see Kante in front of the back 4 taking the ball off the back 4 and just staying there. I don't see that as Kante anymore. I see him as far more energetic than that. So I would actually say if you want Kante in the team, he's got to be your number 8. Højbjerg, says Teddy. I think it should be Højbjerg or Rice, to be honest with you. That's what I would go. And Rice has actually won it quite comfortably. So Declan Rice is the holding midfielder. Now, number 8, this is where you can put Kante if you want. You could put Bentancur of Spurs. I'd agree with that. You could put Soucek of West Ham. You could put Partey of Arsenal. Would you put Conor Gallagher here, or would you put him as more of as an attacking midfielder? You could put Kovacic there as well. Now Kante comes out. Kovacic is underrated, I agree. Somebody just said I'd go Rice, Partey and Kante as a midfield 3. Ain't bad, ain't bad, ain't bad. Sissoko, says Bradley. Rice, Kante and Odegaard, says Matthew McFadden. Kante's won that. So we've got Rice, Kante. Who's your attacking midfielder then? This is where you're going to have people like Odegaard. You could probably put Mason Mount there if you wanted to. You could put... I think you could put Conor Gallagher there. You could put Eriksen there at Brentford. You could put... I'm trying to think who else you could put there. Yeah, I'd probably say it's Mount, Odegaard, Eriksen or Conor Gallagher. Do you want me to run a poll? Fabio Carvalho, says James. I'm going to run a poll on this because I think it's a good one. So we go Ericsson. We go Mount. We go Gallagher. And we go Odegaard. Odegaard. Either or. That's a good one, that is. Get voting on that one. So, we've got Rice, we've got Kante. We're looking for a number 10. Who are you going to have as your left-sided attacker? Oh, I've got to try and think of all these clubs now. So, Pulisic. Son. It's going to be Son. It's going to be Son, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's going to be Son. I can't see. If you can see an alternative to Son off the left-hand side, people might say Smith Rowe or Martinelli, I suppose. But I think it will be Son. It is Son. Right-hand side. So off the right-hand side, you've got Kulusevski. You've got Saka. People like Ziyech, I suppose. You've got Bowen at West Ham. You could put. I mean, you could say Zaha at Crystal Palace as well. There's a few. In relation to the number 10 position, Mason Mount at the moment has 32% of the vote. Ericsson's got 26%, Odegaard's got 24%, and Conor Gallagher's only got 18%. So Conor Gallagher, a lot of people said, "Oh, he's got to be in it. He's got to be in it." I don't think he is in it because he's lost out to Mason Mount there with 32% of the vote. I'm going to run a poll on this one as well because I think it's the last interesting position in this team. So what do we have? Saka, Bowen, Kulusevski. Who else did we have in here? Okay, so you've got Saka, Bowen, Kulusevski or Zaha who can play off the right. Striker, Antonio, lack of threat. Ivan Toney, Edouard, Ayew, Havertz, Arabane. He should have had a shout in the poll when fit. There's a few people saying Havertz, but surely it'll be Harry Kane. Ezzy should have been put in the poll. Yeah, we've had that from Joe Cullen. Thank you very much. Players are coming out to come here. Harry Kane has won it quite comfortably there. So we're just waiting on our number 10. But the team so far is, for a London 11, Mendy in goal, Reece James, Romero of Spurs, Rudiger of Chelsea, Chilwell of Chelsea, Rice of West Ham, Kante of Chelsea, Mason Mount of Chelsea, Son of Spurs, Kane of Spurs, and Saka of Arsenal on the right. Manager, I would imagine, I'm going to let you run it, but there's only two for me. It's Tuchel or it's Conte. You can decide. It's Harry Kane up front, by the way. I'm just about to start the second half here. I enjoyed that. London 11 was good. We'll have to do that a little bit more often. Maybe I wouldn't want to do a Manchester 11 because United get annihilated. But we could do like a Northwest 11 and all that sort of stuff, or a Midlands 11. But the London 11 is good. So we've just started off the second half here. I've got the timer on the screen. I enjoyed that one. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Interactive as ever. Your London 11 is, and there's a good mix. There are Spurs players in there. There is an Arsenal player in there, and there is a West Ham player in there. 4 teams represented in a London 11 with Mendy in goal, Reece James, Rudiger, Romero, Chilwell, Rice, Kante, Mount, Son, Saka, Kane, and your manager would be, it's a little bit close in the manager poll. I'll give it a minute or two. It's a little bit close in the manager poll. Tuchel's got 53% and Conte's got 47%. I wouldn't like to say between those two. I think I probably would agree with the poll. Tuchel's moved to 54%. I do like Conte, but maybe Tuchel would get it for me. Vieira, says Morton. Well, maybe in a few years we might come back to Vieira, but I think at the moment you'd have to go with Tuchel or Conte. I just got called a glory supporter by somebody. How can you be a glory supporter, mate? Have you seen the league? And my age. Man United weren't very good when I started supporting them, and they're not very good now. I had the glory in between. My decision was already made, and I have to stand by it. What about an international 11 and maybe 5 subs, says Jack. Good one. We do it at half time though, Jack. So Tuchel's won that as well. So Tuchel's the manager. So very Chelsea heavy in the London 11, but Rice made it, Son and Kane made it, and Saka made it. And I think that's probably about right, isn't it? Well, Spurs, I said it after the Arsenal Palace game, and I said it this morning, and I'll say it again now. If Spurs beat Villa, I think they're favourites for top 4. This is not an easy place to go and win. I watched Arsenal play here a couple of weeks ago, and they did win, but Villa were very poor. Today, Villa are a lot better. They're playing very, very well, and they're going to have to... They have to dig in here, Spurs, or get a goal on the break. And we're 10 subscribers away from 643,000. So please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. Everybody's welcome on here. We will be doing Liverpool's trip to Man City tomorrow. Game of the season, that. Massive, massive impact on the title. And tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm doing the Formula 1. If you want to tune in for that. Looking forward to it. Do an Arteta, Vieira, Potter, Moyes and Rodgers poll, says Faye. Okay. Arteta, Potter. It's quite a good one, actually. I don't normally take requests, but I do think that one's quite interesting. Moyes. Who was the other one? I can't remember who the other one was. Oh, Rodgers. Do we need to do Rodgers? No, we won't do Rodgers because it will make it... no one will vote for Rodgers. No one ever votes for Rodgers anymore. So we've got Arteta, Potter, Vieira, Moyes. Get your votes in. It's a good one, that. There's a corner to Spurs here. Son's on... Yeah, it's a corner. Son's on it. Whip, whip, whip. Headed away. Edge of the box. Højbjerg. Good hit. Blocked again. Do a Midlands 11. Who would be in a Midlands 11? So Leicester players, Villa players, Wolves players. Oh, Kulusevski. Oh, he scored it. He's absolutely buried it. And that is a massive game, a massive goal in the top 4 race. What a hit by Kulusevski. And that's worked out perfectly for Spurs. They've not really done anything from that goal at the start of the first half. Massive goal. He's loving it. He's saying, yes, yes, I've scored a goal for Tottenham. And literally, it just comes down to these moments, doesn't it? He takes it down. Poor defending by Mings again. Who rates Mings? He's crap. He really is. How's he playing for England? I don't get it. I'm sorry, if that's Harry Maguire, he's getting absolute pelters there. You've got him wide left. You're the man to stop the shot and he's gone through your bloody legs. Terrible defending. How do you let him? How do you try and block it and leave your legs open? What's he doing? It's crap defending. 2-0 to Spurs. There you go. It's going to be very difficult. And look, to be honest with you, these sort of goals are massive. They go 1-0 up. Villa dominate them. They don't get a goal. Spurs come out in the second half, get the second goal again, and they'll say to Villa now, bust a gut. Go on, fly in with your tackles, have a really good go, shoot from distance, we'll hit you on the break again. It's just very, very almost Tuchel-like sometimes for Chelsea when they'll go away, they'll get a goal, they'll soak up a bit of pressure and then they'll hit them. Top 5 Stone Roses songs, says AA. Well, I don't know about what order, but I love Made of Stone. I love I'm the Resurrection. She Bangs the Drum. I'm trying to think about... I like Fool's Gold, I just like the music. And Mings is just injured here. This is the one, obviously, as well. Waterfall's good as well, but Made of Stone's my favourite. Lily, thank you very much for the super sticker there. So as things stand in relation to the league table, I think people are going to be very interested in the league table. As things stand at the moment, Tottenham 6 points ahead of Manchester United and West Ham with the same amount of games played. 3 points ahead of Arsenal with a game in hand. Arsenal would have a game in hand, which I believe is Chelsea. So points on the board at this point in the season is huge. It's interesting, isn't it? Because if you go back to that video I did predicting who would get top 4, I said Spurs. I'm not saying I'm right. I think there may well be twists and turns with this top 4 race, but terrible ball. Kulusevski's a breaking away again. He's on his own. Does well. Son. He's in. Son. Keeper's off his line fast. Still plenty to go in this game. I do think if Villa get 1 goal... I mean, look, we were 2-0 up at Villa with 20 minutes to go and they still got a draw. So it's not over yet. Just because you're 2-0 up against Villa, at Villa, doesn't mean you win the game. Surprise, only Spurs bought players in Jan for top 4, says Jose. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point. I said this about Arsenal. I said not buying a striker could be the difference between them getting top 4 and not. I don't know whether Arsenal fans would agree. I said about Man United, not buying a holding midfielder could be the difference between getting top 4 and not. Who bought players or got players in January? Spurs. What do you think about the Eurovision Song Contest? When is it, Alec? United in the Conference League, says Electro Dan. Mate, we might not be in it at all. Like, West Ham will probably finish 6th. And Wolves could finish 7th. The poll's running. PS. Nothing about the poll. Let it run. Arteta, Potter, Vieira and Moyes. It's 29% for Arteta. It's 25% for Potter. It's 30% for Vieira. And it's 16% for Moyes. Who is the better manager? Arteta, Potter, Vieira or Moyes? Get involved in the vote, in the chat. It's close. Tyrone says that Tottenham will secure top 4 without doubt now. I did say if they beat Villa, I'd fancy them to be favourites for top 4. Their run-in is as follows. They've got Brighton at home next week, which, as we've seen with Arsenal, it's not a guarantee. And they've got Brentford away. Then they've got Leicester at home, Liverpool away, Arsenal at home, Burnley at home, Norwich away. I mean, they'll drop points somewhere along the way, but how many points they drop will be the key. And they have got 6 points on United. So even if United win every game, which they're not going to, you'd need Spurs to lose 2. I can see the thunder. Who is worse, Maguire or Mings, says Alex G. Tyron says the lack of commitment from Manchester United this season has been a disgrace. Catch the early morning sun. The past is yours, the future's mine. You're out of time. Corner for Villa. Have you seen any news on Ten Hag? Yep, he's playing a game for Ajax in 13 minutes. Well, he's managing a game. I think Maguire is good for England but terrible for United, says Misa. Do you think United let Everton win so much that Liverpool have 2 hard games next season, says Joe Cullen? I think they're just a shower of shit. I don't know how those players can sit there tonight, whatever they're doing this Saturday night, and be happy. Just to not be trying is just it's just. I don't like losing. Nobody likes to see their team lose, but it's very hard to react in any other way when they haven't put any effort in. That's unforgivable. Kulusevski for 35 million is an absolute steal. Such a good player already. 9G, I've never understood how Spurs have even been able to get that deal. Like, he is a well-known player. Way before this, Kulusevski was a player that we were talking about in the Euros last year, saying what a good talent he is. I don't know how Spurs have managed to get this deal where he basically comes into their team and has a massive part in why they're in a top 4 race, and then they're going to buy him on a bloody deal anyway. He'd have been perfect for United. Like, we need a right-sided player. Villa are pushing hard here. Ings, goal kick. Man United in the Conference League versus 20, my favourite Dutch club, and the club where Ten Hag grew up would be my dream, says Max. Well, at least somebody would be happy. Conference League football, fucking hell. Spurs are on the attack again. It's a nice ball into Kane. He shouldn't have shot. He should have passed to Kulusevski, but he wins a corner. Harry Kane and Son have had the most goal involvement since February the 19th as well. And Kulusevski, they're a top 3. Kane, Son, Kulusevski are the top 3 players with goal involvement since February the 19th. Havertz and Tony in 4th and 5th. 3 years ago, we lost 4-0 at Goodison. Only 2 from that team have moved on. Smalling and Lukaku. The rebuild was a farce, says Dan. Yeah, I think you're right, Dan. I think there was a tweet I put out today about. Look, I saw it last week and I've seen it today that there are some United fans who say we shouldn't have sold Ollie. I find it hilarious because the reason we are where we are is because of Ollie. Like that, the last 3 years are why we are here now. It's 3 years of damage, whether it's lack of development, lack of coaching, poor recruitment on massive wages, not recruiting a midfielder. It's just everything goes back to the last 3 years. We're paying the price of that. So the poll was, who's the best manager? Arteta, Potter, Vieira or Moyes? I have to keep the poll going because yet again we never thought we'd do it. We never thought we could top Kulusevski versus Bowen the other night. 20,000 votes in a 50-50 poll. We found it again. Arteta, 30%. Potter, 24%. Vieira, 30%. Moyes, 15%. So the poll rumbles on because Arteta and Vieira, the Arsenal boys, are locked in. Who's the better manager? Get your vote in the poll, in the chat. Kulusevski on the attack. And Villa will bring it away. Gaz Elliott says it's a disgrace. Moyes is better than all of them. Who's going to be watching the F1 at 6 a.m. tomorrow? It's going to be me and about 3 others, isn't it? But I will be there. I know the owners at United don't care about the club, but are they at fault for the terrible budget allocations on outrageous player contracts and spending over the odds on players? Yes, of course they are, mate. Your ownership dictates the whole thing. We can all say, well, the 3 years under Ollie weren't very good, but there was owners above him who allowed it to happen. Of course, you have to take responsibility. Lots of people are going to be there for the F1. Good. And of course, tomorrow afternoon, Liverpool City. Very much looking forward to that. I'm loving the F1 this year. If you want to get into it, make sure you subscribe. Tune in tomorrow. I love it. I mean, Stephen says it's boring. That's fine, Stephen. I find some sports that people like boring as well. But I'm loving the F1 this year. And if you do like it, you're very welcome to tune in and watch. I think it's a great sport to watch and communicate with because there's lots of tactics involved. It's like watching football. Should be a decent turnout for the F1 as the UF finishes just before, so people are already awake, says Mitchell Bassett. We'll see. James says the Spurs stand. You do realise this is called That's Football and we watch lots of different matches. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Man City Liverpool tomorrow. It's a weird game because it's a massive game, but I have no preference. I'm sure there's people in the chat who might be Liverpool or City fans. They'll have a preference, but where are we on this? If you're a United fan or a Spurs fan or a Chelsea fan, who do you want to win? Like, it's got no impact on me as a United fan. I don't really like either team. As a Spurs fan, it's got no impact on you. Chelsea, it doesn't really impact you. So, I mean, ideally, I don't want somebody to do the treble. I won't know that tomorrow, will I? See the work rate of team players who care. As soon as they lose the ball, they're busting a gut to get it back, says B. Yakov. Yeah, you can see it. You can see that intensity. I'll do a poll for it, yeah. Okay, Vieira's won that poll. He's got 31%. We've got a winner. Sorry to Arteta. 30% for Arteta, 24% for Potter, 15% for Moyes. Son's just made it 3-0, and Vieira's just won that poll with 31%. It's game over. It's Son. It's game over. It's another big boost to their top 4 hopes as well. Spurs in the Champions League next season. It's not done, It's far from done, but they are now the very, very firm favourites for top 4. And this is going to be killing Arsenal fans. But remember, Arsenal have got to play Spurs. And if you win your game in hand, you're level with them. But their goal difference is tearing you apart. Kane with a lovely assist as well. Little flicked header. Son with the finish. It's a great goal. Romero with the second assist. Kane flicks it onto Son. That's class. That's a class goal, that is. Conte's loving it. And you know what? I like Conte as a manager, and he's definitely a manager that's in a short period of time at Spurs been on a roller coaster, hasn't he? I mean, I as a United fan, I remember when Spurs, it doesn't feel like 5 minutes ago, Spurs lost at home to Southampton and Wolves, and there was United fans going, and people said we should have got Conte, he's crap. And it's that recency bias, isn't it, where people just, oh, he's a crap manager. Yeah, well, look, I think it's going to take Erik ten Hag maybe 2 years to sort United out. Conte's not even been at Spurs 6 months. So, well, just about 6 months now, isn't it? So, of course he's been through some bad times, but he's certainly going through some good times now. And the longer he is there, the worrying thing is the longer he's there, the more they seem to be clicking. Yeah, I'm going to do a tweet here. Someone just said about Gary Neville. I've just said, what ex-United genius said Conte is not a United manager? There was a lot of us back after the Liverpool game who said go and get Conte back in October. Conte apparently was very interested in the job. Connor T says, remember when Neville said Conte isn't right for United and now he's took that spineless Spurs side to comfortably top 4? The bad takes of United ex-players, you could write a book on. I'm not going to criticise Ollie because he's a mate. Conte is never a Man United manager. Let's get Poch in. It's just bad take after bad take. And but no, when we got stuffed by Liverpool, Conte was available. There was a big story that Conte was very interested in the United job, and United dismissed it out of hand. We don't want Conte. And then you had ex-players going, nah, he's the wrong man for United. Spurs went and got him, and look at where they are now. Conte is I never did want Conte, Andrew. I'll be honest. There will be about a year ago I'd have said no, don't want him. But when we came towards the end of Ollie, I said we need a complete reset. We need a complete change of direction. And I said I would go and get Conte. After the Liverpool game, I said go and get Conte because we need someone to come in and kick these players right up the arse. We need a complete reset. So I had never been really massively sure about Conte over the last couple of years. But after that Liverpool game, I was like, he's exactly what we need. And Spurs have gone and done it. And I always applaud Levy and Spurs because they went with Nuno. And I said, that's a bad decision. Nuno's never going to work. He's like, you've just got rid of Mourinho to bring in Nuno, who's basically a Poundland Mourinho. But they sacked him very, very quickly. And sometimes you've got to be ruthless. Not many chairmen or owners would get rid of a manager that they've backed 3 months before. And look at what Conte's done. And what people forget about Conte is he's a bloody good manager. He's won the Premier League before at Chelsea. He's done really well at Juventus. He's done really well at Inter. I just can't believe United dismissed it. And you know why they dismissed it? Because he's temperamental. Because he's demanding. They wanted to stick with Ollie because he was a nice guy who does as he's told. And they missed out. They missed out on a big one there. And Spurs have massively, massively thumbs up for getting him. And why Harry Kane would think about leaving Spurs. He's a prat. It's 4-0! They're absolutely unbelievable. This front three of Kulusevski, Son and Kane, they're having a piss. They're having a piss. They're taking a piss. They're not having a piss. They're taking a piss. They're having a piss on the pitch. They've got no respect. They're taking the piss. Kulusevski to the edge of the box to Son. He's hit a hat-trick off the post. This is an absolute nightmare for Arsenal. I'm not saying United because we're shit. Like, this is not a nightmare for us. We're absolutely shit. I refuse to put us in a race for top four. But for Arsenal, this is a real pain in the arse. It's just quality. That front three of Spurs is just quality. Kulusevski against Mings, puts him on his arse again. What? Mings is awful, isn't he? How does he get picked for England over Tomori? How does he get picked for England over Michael Keane? Michael Caine? I'll tell you what. She was only 16 years old and I could do a better job than Mings. But Kulusevski, Son, Kane. If you've got people who score goals, it doesn't really matter what your defence is like because you can always score goals. They've got a good defence and they've got goals. You'd never have seen 4-0. At half time, if I'd have said to you 4-0, Spurs are going to win this 4-0 at half time, you'd have said you're having a laugh. Villa should be 1-1, they're the better team. And they've been absolutely annihilated second half. They've just picked them off on the break. And there's still 20 minutes to go. Absolutely annihilated them. It's. I told you Mings is crap. I tell you what, I bet those people on Wednesday night who did the 50-50 vote between Kulusevski and Bowen, I bet you're feeling slippy now. That could have been a red card by Emerson there on Digne. There's been a few tasty tackles. Lucy in the sky of diamonds. I don't even like the Beatles. Oh, controversial take there. Are the Tottenham front three the best in the league? Says Plain Spotter. You know, my initial reaction is to say no, but as a front three, probably, maybe, because what is Man City's defined front three? What is Liverpool's defined front three? Spurs front three is Kulusevski, Kane and Son. So there's no interchangeability. That's their front three. So as a settled front three, they probably are the best front three in the Premier League. Yeah. Individually, they're not the best front three, but as a front three, yeah. And it's proven. What was that stat from February the 19th? They've had more goal involvements individually than any other player. They're in the top three. Oh, I'm going to do the poll. People have said Mings is better than Maguire. Here we go. It's the poll of the decade. It's Mings versus Maguire. Who you taking? Get in the chat. I've got no idea how this is going to go. Personally, I would take Maguire over Mings, but you know what? You know what opinion can do. Run Bowen versus Kulusevski again, says Dane. Tom says, I'm not voting. I don't want either of them. Iron Maiden versus Metallica. For a long time, I always thought they were the same thing. Well, one of the big problems that anybody's got that wants to compete with Spurs is that their goal difference is 19. I mean, it's nowhere near Chelsea's 41 or Liverpool's 57 or Man City's 52. But it's comfortably better than Arsenal's 9, West Ham's 11 and United's 7. So their goal difference gives them that advantage as well. Points on the board and superior goal difference. Spurs are looking very strong for that top 4 position at the moment. 15 minutes to go. United stand on at 8, Mark. I am going to do a video on the United stand, Alex, and I think it's probably going to be about 8:15 by the time I do it. Family friend Mike, apparently he's in bed with COVID again. He's had it twice. That's really unlucky. I've not had it once yet. I'm not boasting. And he's a Spurs fan. He can't be at the game. And his Sky's not working. So the only way he can find out what's going on is by watching this watch-along. Well, Digne's down injured at the moment. And what I would say, Mike, as you shout out, what a horrible game to not be able to watch on Sky, because as he is a Spurs fan and they've been absolutely fantastic. They've been absolutely fantastic, Spurs. So bit of a shitter to not be able to watch that game. But yeah, looking very, very good for top 4. I wouldn't say top 4 is done for Spurs. I think things can change very, very quickly, and there's enough games for people to drop points, but it's definitely going to be Spurs or Villa, isn't it? Spurs or Arsenal. I can't see West Ham doing it. Don't talk to me about United doing it. We've got to play Liverpool and Arsenal away and Chelsea at home. And Palace away. So we've got 4 really difficult games. And Brighton away. We could lose that. And Brentford at home. We could lose that. I mean, the only game I think United should win is Norwich. So, yeah. Carl says speedy recovery to Mike. Yep. Well, hopefully this will be a nice tonic for him. Digne's hurt his arm. It's going off. Mark, how do you watch games that are not on TV like Chelsea, says Sam. I didn't watch Chelsea, Sam. I did I'd like me score thing on. I've not seen the. I'll probably watch that on Match of the Day tonight. Thing about Spurs is, if it wasn't for Ronaldo, we wouldn't have beaten Spurs. So that's another 3 points that Spurs don't have, that United have, that we only have because of Ronaldo. We were shot. We weren't crap that game, but we were. It was down to Ronaldo. It was a one. It's like Conte was right. He says if Ronaldo hadn't played, that's the reason they won. United are always vulnerable when Varane doesn't play as well, and however long Varane's out for. If I was Varane, I'd look at the fixtures and say I'll come back after the Arsenal and Liverpool game. I wouldn't be coming back to play them with a bad knee. A lot of the big teams have dropped points today, says Studio. I didn't know any Chelsea big teams. Well, Man City and Liverpool played tomorrow and Chelsea won. What big teams are we talking about here? Don't call Man United a big team. I don't think we deserve to be in that category. I'll leave Arsenal fans to argue whether they should be, but we definitely should not be. That Spurs front three look very good. Yeah, I mean, on a serious note, Rafa's on about that front three there. On a serious note, why would Harry Kane leave Tottenham to come to Manchester United for other than money? Like, Why would you do that? Especially if they get top 4. Why? Makes no sense. Spurs, if Conte stays, you'd be mad to leave Spurs. Mings got 64% of the vote and Maguire got 36%. I think that's disrespectful on Harry Maguire. I don't think people understand that Mings is rubbish. But lovely play by Kane again. Look at this run by Harry. Oh, he's going to get booked for that. Ashley Young. Didn't even... Does he give him a red? Does he give him a red or a yellow? I think he could have. It's definitely a yellow. He definitely takes him out. I don't think it's a red. I tell you what, Ashley Young could be public enemy number 1 here if he's injured Harry Kane. I don't know what he's moaning about. I thought he'd been given a red for a minute, the way he was reacting. You have to be careful with Harry Kane's ankles, you know. Stevie G, he's all about the structure. He's all about the structure. It's all about the players. When I look at that Villa side, I'm thinking, what's Stevie G trying to do? What's the structure? What's he doing with Mings? What's he doing with Watkins? Is he thinking about Coutinho? Or is he thinking about... I can't remember the other lad's name now. What was the lad they got from Bendia? Ankles made from Weetabix. To be fair to Harry Kane, he hasn't actually been injured for a while. Leon, there's the fixtures. Brighton at home, Brentford away, Leicester at home, Liverpool away. Look, this is not over. There's still a chance for Arsenal. There's still a chance. But Spurs are definitely the favourites now. Kulusevski's coming off. Yeah, Spurs are the favourites now. Surely three-way poll. Sancho, Kulusevski and Diaz. Kula is clear for me. No, I wouldn't put that. I wouldn't do that at the moment, Jude. I think it would be Kulusevski. You and Conor Moore should do a collab, says Alexander. And if Son was English, how much would he be worth? I don't even think English, mate. Imagine if he was Portuguese or Argentinian or Brazilian or French. I think it's a bit like Salah. Salah does very well, but I think if you're from a country that's not massively traditionally known for its football, then again, I think if Salah was French, he'd get a lot more focus. And the same for Son. I think it's just sometimes we're a bit biased towards traditional football countries. And you're right, I think if Son was English, he'd probably go down as one of the greatest ever players. Mane as well, yeah, you're right. I think to a certain extent you could say the same of Lewandowski as well. I mean, imagine if Lewandowski was German. I mean, he does get a lot of credit now, but it's through years and years of being at the top level. Five minutes to go. I don't think Villa are going to come back. But it just shows you that without coining a Michael Owen obvious phrase, football is a game of 90 minutes. And That early Spurs goal in the second minute, I thought Villa were very good after that, all the way through to half time. They had a lot of they made Lloris work a lot. I felt they dominated the game. And you think, well, look, Spurs are 1-0 up, but second half's going to be difficult. And then they go and they dominate. And not only do they dominate, they go and win 4-0. So they boost their goal difference. Spurs would have took a dodgy 1-0 win here. To win it 4-0 and boost your goal difference as well. And keep a clean sheet. It's very, very impressive. And it sends a very big message as well. I think if you're an Arsenal fan and Spurs don't win, you think, well, look, we lost, but they've lost. They've bottled it. Arsenal will be there tonight, really gutted that they've lost. And then seeing what Spurs have done at a potentially difficult game away from home, it's just a lot of what you do now is psychological. That Liverpool Man City game tomorrow, it's not just 3 points, it's a psychological blow for whoever wins and whoever loses. And they've got that cup game the week after in a semi-final, so yeah, it's very interesting. And as I said a week ago, Arsenal were favourites for top 4. A week later, Spurs are favourites. 6-point swing. Could get 5 here. No, it's gone out for a goal kick. I've got no comment to make on the Ronaldo incident. To be honest with you, I've just got no comment to make. Because if I say anything, I'll probably get myself into trouble. So I've got no comment. Do I look like I'm not going to say anything. Because Maguire, bigger club, higher expectations, says Jack. Oh, chance for Bailey there for Villa, and he put it over the bar. Ajax are 0-0 with Spotter Rotterdam after 15 minutes. 73% possession they've had. Romero is class, says Jonathan. Yes, I mean, he's a very good signing for Spurs, but I think it's took him a bit of time to settle in. But I think certainly over the last couple of months, he's looked brilliant. And he was fantastic in Serie A. He was one of the best centre-backs. That's Atalanta. I mean, Spurs are starting to build a bit of depth as well, aren't they? I mean, if they did pick up injuries, obviously I think Harry Kane would be a major loss. But they have got Lucas Moura, they've got Steven Bergwijn, Harry Winks. They've got something they didn't have, and I think Kulusevski and Bentancur have given them that. Spurs never really had that depth. And I still think you need a lot more depth, but they've got better depth than Arsenal. Probably will do a United Stand show, Raymond, but I wouldn't say it'll be 8 o'clock. It might be a little bit later than that. It might be a bit like 8:15 tonight or something like that. I've got a couple of things I've got to do. Hey, Bentancur's been a fantastic signing. Him and Højbjerg really work well. I like this from Jay. He says, Puddles have got better depth than Arsenal. I don't do Twitch on a Saturday, you're saying. 6 a.m. tomorrow for the Formula 1, and then obviously the watch-along for Liverpool Man City tomorrow afternoon on this channel. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. But I do think there is a point to be reiterated I remember saying it on this channel in January. Conte is unbelievable, says Renagen. I couldn't believe Arsenal didn't buy a striker in January. I said at the time, what's it going to cost you to buy a striker? Because if the money you're going to make from the Champions League, you'll make from that striker. I don't know what goes on at Arsenal, but not buying anybody in January, when you look at the difference, if you miss out on top 4 to Spurs, it's a lot more than that, but it's definitely a factor. Spurs have gone and got Kulusevski and Bentancur in January, and look at them. Arsenal have had a very good season, but they didn't add anybody in January. And let's not forget, Spurs wanted Diaz. Conte wanted Diaz, and Liverpool got him. And they still went and got somebody for him. So, Luke, what was the Ronaldo incident? I'm not talking about it, mate. I don't really know a lot about it. Something about a phone falling on the floor or something, but whatever. Do you plan on doing a Barcelona watch-along? Says Polish. I don't know. We'll see how the Europa League develops. I may do a watch-along final for that. Arsenal have got the all or nothing programme. Could be nothing. Mike says, imagine if Arsenal got Vlahovic. Well, I think they did want Vlahovic, but you've got to have a plan B, and that's what I mean. Spurs wanted Diaz. He went to Liverpool. They got Kulusevski. You've got to have a plan B and C. You can't have a plan A and then go, we didn't get him, so let's leave a hole. Like, you've got to have a plan B. And what Spurs did was a very, very clever thing. The Kulusevski deal, it's not permanent. It's a loan to buy. So if it doesn't work out, well, it doesn't work out. Bergwijn, Mora, ooh. I think Arsenal fans will hate it if you don't get top 4, because I think there was a time where you thought you were going to get it, and if you miss out to Spurs, it will make it even harder. But I predicted Arsenal would finish 5th, and a lot of people laughed at me. They didn't think they'd finish that high. I still think Arsenal have had a good season from where they've come from. But it won't be good enough for some fans. I mean, I saw old Piers Morgan and a few Arsenal fans this afternoon almost stirring up the Arteta out thing again. And I was like, all right, you've lost 2 games in a row, but you've won 7 out of your last 8. Last year, you finished 8th place. At times, you've looked really good this season. You haven't got a striker. Like, you haven't got a striker and he wants one. And you still had a good season. It's no consolation, but I do feel that some of your fans are just underlying want to get Arteta out, and I think 5th is a decent enough season for Arsenal. That's a fantastic result for Spurs, 4-0. Spurs favourites for top 4 now, and that's a big confidence boost for them as well. I said it at the start of the week. If they beat Villa, I think they're favourites for top 4. I think they are favourites for top 4. I still think there's a few twists and turns to come, but they've got the momentum. They're playing. They seem to get better by the game as well. Momentum's everything. Confidence is everything. Points on the board is everything. They've got all of those things, and they're looking strong for top 4 at the moment. Mark, I didn't see the United match this morning. I imagine an easy romping of Lampard and the Toffees by the man in red. Give me a quick match reaction. We were shit. We never even tried Alec, basically. Please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. I will be on the United stand in just under an hour. It'll be a bit after 8 o'clock, but tomorrow morning at 6 a.m, Formula 1, and tomorrow afternoon, Man City against Liverpool. Tune in for that. Cigar says, if United wanted Diaz and Liverpool would have got him, we would have ended up getting a Josh King or a Nathan Redmond. There are levels to incumbency. And Kieran, thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you on United Stand in a little bit if you're going to be there. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Take care. Formula 1 early, 6 a.m. Liverpool, Man City, 4 p.m. Speak to you in a bit.